Hello guys, and welcome to this new video. So another game against lower rated players. We are playing against Devochka-4. Devochka means girl in Russian, and again we found this b6 move first, then he plays e6. It looks like a French defense, e4, e6, d4, b6, which would be a mistake. So I will try to push c4. So I'm really trying to take the center now, and let's see how he reacts. So bishop b7, knight c3, I defend my pawn. d6. Okay, so he's as in the first game playing like he's not trying to take the center. So let me push f4. Now I'm really taking up the center here, as you can see, against this double fianchetto. So I will open up probably with f5. So I finish my development, and then we will have to look through the f5 move to try and open up everything. So f5, pawn takes, knight takes, bishop takes, pawn takes. Yeah, I'm not sure it's the best choice. It's definitely an option though. So take, knight take, bishop take, pawn takes, and I could go then queen d3. And this king is not looking good, so let's go f5. So you see I took the center, and now I'm trying to take advantage of my of the space to attack this king. So take. So you could take on f3, I take back, but I'm attacking this hook. So you can see again I'm not doing anything too complicated in those games. I'm just developing the pieces naturally and then making the first blow. So okay, knight d7 makes sense. Let's go bishop g5 now. I am pinning this this knight, and I might threat f6 at some point. Again, a move like bishop f3, queen f3, bishop d4, and king h1 won't look good for black, because even if he's winning a pawn, I mean this king is really looking bad. So f6. So now what did I achieve? The thing is that the bishop now is not active anymore. It's like buried by this pawn on f6. And the light squares now are really weakened, like the e6 square, by example. So I'm just going to retreat my bishop. I could retreat my bishop to, let's say, f4. I could also take the pawn on g6 and maybe pawn takes, pawn h7, but I don't want to go too many tactics. So I could go to bishop f4, but I think anyway he has to push g5 on the next move. So maybe bishop d2 or bishop e3 makes sense. Let's go bishop e3, assuming he has to push the pawn on g5 anyway, so I could react maybe by h4. What I do need to do now is to take control of the e file. Okay, let's play like rook e1. And try to get use to get pieces on those light squares. Also h4, opening up the king side might be another option, because his king is really weak, and the bishop is just waiting for his pawn to move up and make the kill on h7. Okay, so let's go. We have a lot of options here. We could go b4 also, taking even more space on the king side. We have a lot of options here. We could go knight e2, knight g3, knight h5. But let me start by b4. No, b4 is maybe, yeah, let's go with b4. Not a threat by c5. Anyway, if the position opens up, I'm pretty sure I'm winning. I will be winning on the spot. So now the rook deflected on c8. So this knight on e7 might be attacked. So if the bishop g5, pawn takes, rook e7, he's winning a pawn, but he might take with the f pawn, and then this bishop is alive again. So I might keep this for a bit later. Let's go queen b3 for the moment. Anyway, if you play c5, I mean the bishop now is not opening up. I mean this diagonal is not a problem for me. Okay, so I can go rook e2, rook e1, trying to build up pressure now. Not trying, building pressure now. It's just going to be hard to play with black. At some point it's going to be really hard to play with black. Okay, let's go rook e1. I'm just playing my plan. As you see, he's just sitting on a couple of files. Now he has knight f5, which I missed, but it's no big deal. I will take and move d5. Just as speeding up. So I will bring my knight to e4. I can bring the knight to b5. As you see, even with this little concentration mistake, I can still place my pieces. I mean, the advantage is so big. Even by just missing a tactical blow, you still have your hand pretty much on the game. But it also shows you that even with 2400, you can miss some moves. I mean, I'm making mistakes as well. So knight e6. Finally, I got to this square. Now I'm attacking the pawn on c7 and the rook. Frankly, yeah, I would have probably given the rook, because losing this pawn on c7 is far from being nice, because now the knight comes on b5. I mean the pawn on d6 now is weak, and the pawn on a7 is also attacked. So if a7 falls, b6 is falling again also. So in this position, I'm coming just back, cutting back, I would probably have given the rook by playing rook c8, and I would have tried to push f5, f4. Would have tried to search for some activity. Okay, f5, protecting the pawn. This is a good move. So let's grab this pawn. Let's grab the pawn on a7. Let's grab the pawn on a7. Still, Devochka-4 is still pretty much in it. It's a shame I cannot give him time, because this game is in fact becoming interesting. I could not win it as easily as I thought. Let's bring back the knight into the game. Knight c6. Okay, so this was my idea, was to exchange those two knights. I mean, this knight e5 was probably a mistake, because now the pawn on b6 is falling, and it's too many. Those are too many pawns. Those are too many pawns. Though it's still pretty dangerous. I mean, it's a really nice game. It's a really nice game because you can feel the danger. So let me give up an exchange. So he cannot take with rook because of bishop d4. This is a pin, and now I will be able to push my pawns. Okay, bishop d4, the tactical blow. But rook a5 was a really nice move. What can I say about this game? Is that even if Devochka played pretty badly in the opening, you could see he has this trading because he doesn't know theory and the openings, I guess. But I mean, he's playing much better than his level, definitely. I mean, he was good in tactics. So it's more of an hope for player rated like 1300s, because you can see I could not just win easily this game. I mean, well, I mean after the beginning I was after the opening I was well, much better. So I had my 4 pawns, and I could play this f5 move, which is pretty sweet. The bishop comes to g5, and okay, so f6 I could provoke him from bringing the bishop, but suddenly, I mean, okay, so okay, the game is coming up. I always could play bishop g5, but I didn't want him to take with the f pawn and rook e7, bishop f6. I thought I don't want to give this activity, so rook e2, knight b8, and here, okay, I missed the pawn. So I mean, of course I have a very big advantage here, and I just have to protect my pawn by queen c2 and keep going. But I mean, what's interesting is that I make this mistake, and it's like game on now. I mean, it's like we are almost leveled. I mean, I think white's still better, so we're almost leveled. And suddenly, when this game is leveled, Devochka is playing interesting moves. You know, as I said, I would have pushed f5 here, give the exchange, and try to push f4 and activate my pieces. But still, rook g8 is not a bad move. And then f5, suddenly rook e8, it's coming, knight e5, take, and he sees those patterns, those attacking patterns, and suddenly it's becoming really dangerous. I mean, well, I found this rook takes e5, which is good, but I mean, if he plays against a player which is, I mean, weaker, which would play, by example, g3, he could go already f4, and I mean, this is already looking really dangerous for white. Well, what I want to say here is that you should be confident in your ability, even if your rating is low. I mean, most of you are playing much better than they think, and if you start believing in yourself and studying a bit of openings, you could really quickly become 1800s or 1900s. So I'm praising here Devochka for this game, and I'm really telling all the guys over there with 1300s, guys, just work a bit and you can make it. Okay, thank you for watching. Goodbye.